A long time ago, in 1895, a railway was built. It wasn't long, true, but held a very important purpose in the small town of Mayflower. The line's original idea was to transport men who would work in factories in a large quarry faster and safer than a horse and cart. The line also provided services for the London, Brighton, and South Coast Railway, such as goods and passengers from the town and its factories. Of course, a railway can't run without an engine, so a small little Brighton locomotive was purchased on the line. Its name was the ex-London, Brighton, and South Coast Railway Mayflower Railway A1 number 32670, which was a long name for such a very little engine, so it was mainly referred to by its number, at least for shunters and inspectors. Some, however, such as the local towns members and the crew and the station masters, call her Alice. No one really knows who or where the name comes from, but many thought it a cute name for such a little engine. The line was purchased by British Railways in 1950, but even after the merge, Alice stayed on the railway, as she had proved her worth for many years and continued to do so. She was a valuable asset to the now Mayflower Branch. An engine, of course, can't run without its crew, so a driver, named Roger Baxter, and a fireman named Fred Bills operate her. There is also a guard that works on the railway named Mark Willis. He worked in a small little LMS brake van. It was old and needed new wooden paint, but Mark was very proud of it. Every day, at 6 a.m., the three men all arrived at the shed to start their work. After Alice is steamed up, oiled, and cleaned, they start the Mooring Daisy, a small passenger train that stops at all the stations until they reach the big station that connects to the main line. It wasn't big, but it was bigger than most of the stations on the branch line. After that, they wait for about half an hour for a small goods train to arrive. There, trucks would be dropped off, full of things to the branch line and the townspeople. They would then collect the trucks and empty coaches and take them back to the yard. Then after that, the empty vans would be taken over to a small dairy, where they would then be loaded with cold bottles of milk for the people next day. When the milk tankers were brought back, the empty wagons would be taken to a quarry to be loaded up with ballast. After the trucks were loaded and the men had their lunch, the trucks would be taken to the big station, and then Alice would travel back to the shed light engine, with Mark's brakeman, of course. Then after that, the empty coaches would be taken, and then they would arrive at the stations to take the men home. Sometimes products from the factories need to be taken to different stations after dropping off the workers, so Alice would pick up and set down trucks full of equipment and products to and fro each station. When the day's work was over, Alice trundles home to her shed and rests for the night, ready for the work tomorrow.